All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about divisions of local government. Okay, we've got different divisions, especially in the state of Pennsylvania. You see lots of different breakdowns of government, and you actually may be covered by two or more different divisions of local government, depending on where you live. So our desired result today is identify the rights and responsibilities of local governments and examine the different types of local government, and that's what we're going to focus on much today. So when we talk about local governments, as a student, you are most affected by the government of the city or the town that you live in. The decisions that they make are the ones that are going to most directly affect you and your life. And if there is an emergency, it is your local government who is going to be the first responders, right? They are more than likely going to give you everything that you could need in response to some kind of an emergency, okay? It may get subsidized by the state or the federal government, but they are going to be the men and women on the ground helping you out. So local governments provide all of these services, the conveniences, the things that we expect in our day-to-day lives. Things like taking care of the roads, snow removal, street cleaning, water and sewer. They'll manage electrical and gas providers. They provide our first responders. They provide our police, our fire and rescue personnel. And this can be done at the city level, it can be done at the county level, at the township level. A city is the largest type of municipality that we have when we break down local government. So the city is going to be the largest of these. But especially in Pennsylvania, the highest level of local government is going to be the county. Okay? And the county is a division of the state government that is formed to carry out state laws, collect taxes, and supervise the elections. And that's a really important job in a state for a certain small area. In Pennsylvania, we are broken down into 67 different counties. Okay? Not all states call them counties. In Louisiana, their counties are called parishes. And in Alaska, they call theirs boroughs. Okay? But the leaders of the county are elected by the voters. This can be called a county board, a board of commissioners, a county court, or a board of county supervisors. Depending on where you are in different states, or in the same state, counties may call them by different things. Okay. There are also a lot of other elected leaders in county government that help to run the government. County sheriff is one of those that are really important. These are the people that often arrest people who break the law. They also carry out the orders of the county courts. And in Pennsylvania, this is the primary job of the county sheriff. They issue warrants and all of that kind of stuff that comes directly from the court system. They, in some states, may be responsible for only covering a small area. If there is a city that is has its own police force, that the sheriff may not cover that area of a county. Okay, so it all kind of depends on the makeup of the county as to how much power these different groups have. So a town government is something, it's a unit of local government. It's usually larger than a village, but it's smaller than a city. Okay. The idea of a town government comes from colonial New England. These groups of people lived in these areas, right? But they got together when they had problems and had to figure out a way to solve the problems. And the way they would do that is they would all come together in a town meeting. They would discuss the issues that they have. After everyone is allowed to share their opinion, the people will vote on what the decision about that issue is going to be. This tends to work well in areas that have small populations. Obviously, the less people, the easier it is to allow everyone to share their thoughts and then come to some kind of an agreement. It is a form of direct democracy, And in small towns, it is a practical way to go. As we talked about, it wouldn't necessarily work so well in a larger population. But with a small population, it is easier to get people together all in one place at one time to share their ideas and to make decisions about what is going to happen in the town. Another division of local government is a township. This was used in other areas throughout U.S. history, in the mid-Atlantic states during the colonial period, and as they settled the Midwest, this federal government divided the areas, these new states, up into certain areas. So a township might be smaller or larger than a town. Sometimes it depends on the population, but the township is also responsible for a lot of important government functions. Okay, usually a township is headed by a chairperson or a supervisor. In a lot of townships in Pennsylvania, I know that they're called supervisors, and these are also elected positions. Okay, so these people have to get voted in as well. In some states, the role of the township has been decreased because of the growth of cities. In Pennsylvania, however, townships still make a lot of the local rules and decisions. So in a lot of areas in Pennsylvania, the township government is still really important. And the last breakdown that we want to talk about today in local governments are villages and boroughs. So villages and boroughs were formed usually out in more rural communities, right? Like more farmland. But when you would see the population increase a little bit and get to maybe 200 or 300 people, they would decide they wanted to establish a village or a borough to deal with the issues that they have. So they would have the ability to petition the state, right? The state would have to give them permission, give them a charter to form the village or a borough and create their own local government, okay? These governments, because they're given permission by the state, have the ability to collect taxes, set up emergency service departments, and provide other services to their residents. Usually they are run by a small council or a board of trustees. These would be elected local officials again. And they would also choose either some kind of an executive. Sometimes they might be called the president of the board of trustees. Sometimes this person is called the mayor. So it all depends on how each village or borough is set up. I know that in Pennsylvania, there are a lot of villages and boroughs that have these government powers, especially to take care of roads and offer police and fire protection. So these are all forms of government that exist within our state currently. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and otherwise I will see you in live class.